What's the most Delulu thing I've ever done in a relationship? Although you still are boy crazy, and sometimes I do have to tell her, like,
Chill.
my husband is right there.
That's true. She does say that.
Shush.
Or she'll be like, I'm married. And I'm like, but I'm not.
Hey Tithers, this is M.
And this is Yo. And this is Hither and Tither.
Are we good? There you go.
Well, I wish you guys could see the behind the scenes because before we get started on these episodes, there's a lot of learning that happens.
A lot. In every episode, you would think that we would learn from our mistakes. I think we just
But
need to keep a journal of like the things that we do wrong and how we fix them, because I feel like we get
yeah,
stuck in the same things over and over.
but we're learning.
Yeah, we're
And
learning.
that's what matters. But thank you so much for being here today.
Yes, thanks for joining us again this week on Hither and Tither.
For those of you that have been here before, thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you that are new, I'm M.
And I'm Yo, as our names
And
say right here.
oh yeah, 13 episodes in.
Ta-da!
Wow, a learning experience.
Oh.
Wow. But anyway, today we're doing something kind of fun. We actually took this idea from somebody that we love, from
Yeah,
our girl Cel,
from our fellow
Selena Gomez.
Latinas.
Yes, from our fellow Latina, Selena Gomez and Karol G, who just
Ooh.
actually, she actually just dropped this bomb album.
Yep.
Love
Go
that girl.
listen to it. Tropicoqueta. So good.
Tropicoqueta. Ay!
Mira cómo mueve la sombrita. Yo, let's see.
Emily.
Oh, dude, that's so funny.
So their episode was actually really cute, because they did like goat things, right? Like the goat song or like the goat artist that you've been with that. Well, I mean, I don't think we have to do something like that because like we're goat. Like that's
Yeah,
it.
we
I mean,
this is goat. Yeah, oh, this is goat right here.
yeah. So we just decided that we would just like move on to an emotional check-in.
Yep. We love emotional
Which,
check-ins.
which we'll see how it goes because I almost feel like as we're checking in on each other, all the feelings will come out. I hope not.
Oh my gosh. Well, and you and I already have so many emotional check-ins without even trying, right? Like we'll have conversations and then we'll be like, mm.
Like if we
where
could
did
go
that?
back to all the episodes where we're like, hold on, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah, literally. Or even all the bloopers, because I think we cut off a lot of things that we were like, oh my gosh, no, I'm not going to talk about that. Anyway.
Yeah, that's true. But anyway, without further ado, shall we get started?
Yeah,
All
let's
right.
do it.
Do you want to go first?
Sure. If I could see myself through your eyes for one day, what would change?
So like, oh gosh, here I go, not understanding the question.
Well, it's because I also had to look down again because I was like, what?
Okay, I guess the question is asking, so like if
How you
if
see me, yeah.
Mhm.
How you
and
see
how you
me,
would change.
what would I change based off of the fact that I'm seeing myself how you see me?
That is so hard because I feel like I look up to you for stuff. Like whenever I look at you, like I'm just like, she's perfect and I need to be more like her.
Okay, so maybe I would change.
So maybe you would be more vain.
Yeah, Yeah. So I would change. I would be more vain, but I think if I saw myself the way you see me, like God would humble me. He'd be like, "No, girl, get out of here. You are not
Get
all
off
those
that throne.
things. Yeah, you are not all
No,
those
you
things.
are
Get
those
off your
things.
high horse." That is so funny.
Not even. Okay. Um, what compliment do I never believe, even though it's true? All of them. Who do I
Emily,
think I am?
yeah, Emily has a really hard time accepting compliments. Like the amount of times that I've had this conversation with her, like sometimes she'll say something and I'll be like, or you can say thank you. And she'll be like, oh, thank you. I'm
Thanks.
like, just eat it up, girl. Who cares? Like, just eat up, whatever. Okay, what's something I've grown from that I don't give myself enough credit for? Be honest. You
Ooh,
can be honest. Just
oh
say
my
it
gosh.
as bluntly as you want and can.
I I mean, I feel like you've grown so much in different aspects, but I don't necessarily think that you don't like take that into consideration. Like I
Yeah,
think
for real. I'm
you
like, so whatever. I've grown, I've changed.
no, but like not in a bad way either. Like I think you have grown a lot. And I remember and you've done this to me before where you ask me a question and you're like be honest, and I think that that just shows a lot of growth because like you are not afraid to hear the hard things, you know, you're not afraid to be like, well, yeah, this is who I used to be, but this is not who I am now. um I yeah, I mean, I would say like with boys that's a really big thing, you know.
Oh my gosh.
um
Crazy, girl.
you
Crazy.
have grown so much from being boy crazy, although you still are boy crazy, and sometimes, y'all, sometimes I do have to tell her like,
Chill.
my husband is right there.
That's true. She does say that.
Shush.
Or she'll be like, I'm married. And I'm like, but I'm not. So it's so hard for
So
me to make that transition. But yes,
yeah,
I'm trying. I'm trying.
I do think that's one really like thing that you've grown from, that I think you sometimes you do have to remind yourself, you know, like it's okay, you know, like
Yeah. Yeah.
boys come and go,
That it's
except my
true.
husband.
Except when you're married.
He better stay.
That's so funny.
Okay, what's a little thing I do that makes you feel really close to me?
That you do
Yeah, something that I do that makes you feel close to me.
when I can see you lowering your walls for me. I love when you
Mhm.
do that. And I feel that sense of closeness and that sense of understanding between us two. Like
Yeah,
that's
it's
when I
like a
feel
refresh.
yes, that's when I feel the closest to you.
That's cute. Thank you.
Okay. You're welcome. What's one belief I carry that's probably holding me back? Oh, heavens. I did not read that before I said it.
One belief that you carry that's holding you back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I think that's like that you're gonna fail. Like we've talked about this recently, right? Like
Yeah.
you're so afraid to launch. Can I say it?
Yeah. Go for it.
Oh, you're so afraid to launch like your products, which are our biggest sponsor.
That says a lot.
I wish that I had my products in here. But I use your products, my dog uses your products, and don't be afraid to fail. Like we've talked about this before, right? Like why, like I think so highly of you and I think you can do amazing things. And the fact that sometimes you doubt yourself, it's like, why? Like you can't doubt yourself. I do that. You don't do that.
That's not
Okay?
your job. Yeah.
That's not your job. Leave that to me. So now carry on and go. And so, yeah. don't be afraid to fail because, I mean, we have all failed and we're still here, right?
Something about this products and lately in my
Mm,
life, anything business, like I've just been so scared. And that, again, this is all so foreign to me because I've never been like that. And all of a sudden, like,
mhm.
I just got scared. So I needed to hear that. And it is setting me back for sure. But you know what? This week we started and here it goes to life-changing decisions, you know?
There we go. That's what I'd like to hear.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome.
Okay.
Okay, next question. Um, what's the most Delulu thing I've ever done in a relationship?
Um,
I've only had one boyfriend, so that's hard.
well, back then I didn't think this of you, but now that I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, the things we did for guys. And it was actually for Abe, which is really funny because I guess in the end
Okay.
it worked for you. But this is
Mm-hmm.
before you went on your mission. So this is when we were living in Rexburg the first time. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you went to his house and you guys were, or he was doing homework and you were literally just sitting there doing nothing. And you were just there, but you were so happy. You were just so happy being there. And he was just like, and he didn't think anything of it. And I think,
Mm-hmm.
and then you came home and you were like, and then we were like just sitting there and
And I just watched it.
yeah, and you were so, and here's the thing, like, it's not like anything was going on then. So I think that was the
Mm-hmm.
most Delulu thing you did, which is so tame to everything I've ever done. But I think that's the most Delulu thing you've done that, again, in the end, it was true, but I guess in that moment, it wasn't happening what you thought was happening. So
Yeah, he loves to hear it too. He loves like when we reminisce on like
I
me
know,
being in love with him,
I know.
him being so nonchalant, like
I, he's so
just got all
funny.
these girls fighting all over me.
Yeah, he laughs so hard every time I say she was down bad, and he was like,
Mm. In fact, the other day, I don't know if like you were there when we were having this conversation, but we were talking about this other girl in college that I was friends with her, and he told me recently that she had a crush on him. Were you there for that?
yes.
Yes. So he was just like, oh yeah, like she had a crush on me. And I was like, oh, so like you just had all these girls all over you, right? And he's like, no. But he's
Celeste.
like, he loves
By
to
the
hear it. He
way,
really does.
when we say Celeste face, so my niece's name is Celeste, and when she was a baby, Emily lived with me and my family, and so did my brother and his family. We all were bunched up in my mom's house. And she would hang out with us a lot, and sometimes when we would like hype her up, we'd be like, hey, or like whatever, she would make this little face like she was shy, like, but then she would start dancing or whatever. But like it's like she didn't want to, I don't know, it was just her shy face, I guess. And so anytime we give each other a compliment or say something like that, like we just say Celeste, insert Celeste face here. It's so funny.
Such a cutie. Shout out to her.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes, we are still podcasters.
Okay, next question. What do I think makes me intimidating and what actually does?
I want to say your confidence makes you a little bit intimidating. And like you and I have had this conversation before about how other people react to this. Um, because I think there's a lot of people that look up to you because of the kind of person that you are. And I guess what you think makes you intimidating is like your, I don't know, like your need for people.
What do you mean my need for people?
I'm just thinking about the conversation that you and I had, right? Where
Yesterday?
you and like, no, like we had this conversation, maybe like a week or two ago about like how sometimes you can recognize when people no longer like fit what you're
Oh,
trying to accomplish in your life.
yes,
And I
yes.
think that that is something that maybe
Yeah,
you think makes you intimidating because not that like you say that actively and people know that, but I think some people that are in your life do know that. And there have been experiences before where, you know, some people have reacted to that,
yeah, 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 yeah.
maybe like, I'm afraid that this is going to happen. So I think that's what you think makes you intimidating. But I say like your confidence because, and I think it kind of ties to each other a little bit because people gravitate towards you, and I don't know, they want to be a part of your life, I guess.
That's such a
That could
solid
be a little
answer.
intimidating.
That's such a solid answer because I really do think that one of the most intimidating aspects of me is, again, how reckless I can be in every aspect of my life. And how lack of need of people that I do have in my life or that I
Mm-hmm.
think I have, but really I need all of my friends. Like I really do. Like everyone that I have right now, I absolutely need in my life and I would have a hard time letting go of them. But yes, I do think that that is, I think, but
Mm-hmm.
thank you. A lot of people have told me in the past that my confidence is a little intimidating, more towards guys, more geared towards male. But yes.
Mm. Okay. What is one time that I showed up for you that stuck with you? You're like, never.
You always have. And this is such a small thing because I tend to be the type of person that tries to pretend that I'm hyper independent, right? And then I can fix all things.
Mhm.
And so when people can show me their love through other ways, like like showing me that they know me, that is showing up for me. And I
Mm.
remember this one time for my birthday. This is when we lived in Laredo. For my birthday, you made me a basket with all of the things that I
Mm.
loved. Right. And that was so special to me. Like just to know that you knew me exactly for
Mhm.
the things that I love and the things that I enjoy. And those were the things that you gave me. And I think you have always been like that. Like that is the specific time that I can think of right now that is more prevalent, I guess. But I do know that you have always done that. Like you
Mm.
always know or get me something that you know I'm gonna like because you do know me, you know. So I think
Mhm.
those are the ways that I have seen you shown up for me, and maybe other ways that other people haven't.
Mm.
Because I feel like, hey, my car broke down. Can you come and get me? A lot of good friends will do that for you. A lot of good friends will do that for
Mhm.
you. Or like, hey, I need a shoulder to cry on, or I need a listening ear. A lot of good friends. And there's a lot of good friends out there. There's a lot of good people out there. But not everyone gets to know you. And that was something that you have
Mhm.
shown me, is that you have gotten to know me. Um, because I also think that you can be around somebody and show them who you are, but if they're not listening, they're not listening, you know? And
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
have shown up for me by getting to know me.
Hey.
Um, I was like, how do I lighten this up? And you did that perfectly. Um, what do I do when I'm trying to be low maintenance but really want attention?
Um, I think this is gonna sound weird, but I don't know what's the best way to like do it. Um, I think it's okay. This I'm going to explain it, but make yourself useful. Like you I'm thinking about the one time that we were in Washington and that the little kid was lost. And then you went and like he was talking to like two police officers. And then you went to try and go help.
Oh,
But
yeah.
then you were like, oh, I did it because I wanted to talk to the police officer. and and that's what I mean by like make yourself useful. Like you insert yourself into certain situations to
I
be like,
do.
I'm here to like save the day.
But
But
like,
I
hey,
can see that there's an ulterior motive. Yeah.
that's true. I do. In general, I do have a
But you are helpful.
yes, but I do have like a hero complex, and I know that about myself. And I've always, well, I haven't always known this about myself, but I can see how I've always had it, you know? And so
Hmm.
that's just so interesting that, yeah, sometimes there is an ulterior motive. Like in this aspect, obviously the police officers are going to be much better use for this than me. But I was like, oh, hey, officer. Also, if you guys have seen the special forces officers in Washington, D.C., bro, wow.
You would understand.
You
You would
would
also want to
understand.
insert yourself.
Yeah, you would also understand my ulterior motive for that, because I was like, oh my gosh. And then they kind of ignored me. So I was like, I was like, okay, bye.
Guess I gotta keep going.
Yeah, I was like, fine. I have other kids to watch.
While all 30 other kids are gone.
But
That's
that's so
funny.
funny. Yeah, I definitely was looking for attention right there and then. That's so
All
funny. That
right.
was so accurate.
Um, what's a belief I used to hold that I've clearly outgrown?
I think and this is going to get a little religious, but like I think that you have helped me outgrown this because you have outgrown it. Like I've watched you now put it into practice in your life, and I'm watching you and I'm like, wow, you know? But the God's timing, or like God will make this happen for you type thing, and you're kind of like, no, like do it. And if God has that in plan for you, like he will allow you to do it. If not, he will like put a barrier. But like don't just wait for
Mhm.
God to make things happen. Like go do them, and if the door closes, then try another door type thing. But so I how do I put this into one phrase? Like faith without works is dead type thing, you know? Like that's
Mhm.
something that I think you have grown into. So we have, or you have
Mhm.
grown out of, God will make everything happen, you know, for you,
Mhm.
or God is working for you at all times. I think that that's definitely something that I have noticed in you um a lot.
I feel like I never realized that. So that's cool. I like that.
What does emotional safety look like between us?
Um, I think that I remember this one time where like you told me something and then I was just like, "Oh, okay." And then you were like, "Wow, you took that a lot better than I thought you would." And I think that's emotional safety between you and I. That when we are ready to have a conversation or when we share something with each other, like we're not really like, well, no,
Mm-hmm.
or like, I mean, and not to say that we don't disagree on certain things because we do disagree on some stuff, but I think that when we reach the point where it's like, okay, well, these disagreements or whatever made me realize this, we're very okay, cool. Now let's fix it.
Yeah. I
And
also
I
think
don't,
that
I don't think we hold grudges. Like, I think it's just like, okay, I understand what you're saying, and that's valuable. Like
Yeah.
what you're like, if you felt the need to tell me this is because it matters. And so at that point, it's no longer like, well, let me tell you why. It's just like, okay,
Yeah, I also think that we
let's fix it.
feel safe enough to, even if we do disagree with it, that we feel safe enough to share that opinion, you know? Like
Mm-hmm.
that's not what I think. And normally if I don't want to talk to somebody, if I don't want to argue with someone, I'll just look at them and be like,
Mm-hmm.
but with you, I'll be like, actually, or vice versa, right? Like with me, you're like, I don't know if that's necessarily how I feel. You know, like there's a
Mm-hmm.
safety enough to know that you're
Mm-hmm.
not gonna diss on my opinion just because it's not the same as yours.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
Your turn.
Okay. If I were a walking red flag, what would be printed on my warning label?
It's because I think this isn't a red flag, but it kind of aids to a red flag. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think you're sensitive. And because you're sensitive,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can get you a little moody. But I don't think being
Mm-hmm.
sensitive is a red flag. It's just sometimes your
Mm-hmm.
mood can be very um,
Mm-hmm.
easily influenced.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's it.
true. That's true. I do agree with that, and I think anybody watching this that knows me would agree with that, and they'd be like, "Yeah, mic drop."
What do
Um,
you what do you think is our love language as best friends?
physical. Um,
For backstory, Emily has this joke that she'll like come cuddle, and I'm like, what's wrong with you? Like I'm just not like like I'm just not a very physical touch
literally.
person unless you're my significant other.
But
But
like neither am I.
yeah,
Like
she
I
just
don't
does
like
it
to
as a
be touched. I
joke.
don't want people
Yeah.
to touch me. But I want to say probably quality time. Um and I say that because there have been times where I have noticed this so much that like I'll be complaining or I'll be moody or whatever, and then as soon as you and I get on the phone and we're talking, my mood instantly changes.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like I literally was mad 30 seconds ago, and now I'm like laughing like nothing else in this world
And
matters.
Abe is like,
And so, yeah, he's just looking at me like this crazy girl that I married. Um, but I do think that because it has happened so many times, even though quality time for us is probably a little bit different than, because we don't live in the same place.
mm-hmm.
But even though, like, it's so crazy because even though I live far away from most people that I love, I've probably seen you more than anybody else all year.
That's
Um,
true. Same.
and and not only that, but simply just picking up the phone and just FaceTiming, I think that's
Yeah.
probably how we spend our quality time together.
Yeah. And then
So
we decided
that's
to
what I
start
would
a
say.
podcast, and so that like
Do you
doubled
agree or do
our.
you disagree?
I I say I think that's second. I think quality
Okay,
time
to
is
what?
second. I think it's acts of service.
Okay.
I think it's acts of service. I think you and I, if we see a need in the other, we'll take care of it pretty
Mm-hmm.
like, and we don't even say like, oh, I got you. Like, oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. It
Mm-hmm.
just gets taken care of. And then the other one will eventually
Mm-hmm.
notice, like, what the, like, when did that, like, when did you get that? Or when did you clean that? Or when did you, like, I think it's acts of
Mm-hmm.
service.
Yeah, I could see acts of service too. I definitely thought of that one as well. I guess it just depends on the day. What is a piece of unsolicited advice I always give like it's scripture?
I don't think you give much advice.
No, pues dale shine.
Dale shine is one. I don't know. I don't think you give much advice.
I'm not an
I
advice
think
giver. I just feel like
you're a
unqualified for
listener.
it.
You're definitely a listener. You're like a
Mhm.
shoulder to cry on type person.
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know that.
I think if I were to say anything,
Oh,
like I think it would just be like oh, go ahead.
when you've never given it to me, but you have said
Sorry.
this in the past that you always tell your girls that make sure he can read. Whoever they're looking for in a
Make sure
partner,
he
make
can
sure that they
read.
can read.
It's very
That's what.
important that they can read because our priorities and like it goes to more than just like reading, you know? I think it's like it's on a deeper level. It's like ask those important questions because
Yeah.
I'm sick and tired of seeing girls suffering when, and I hope this doesn't sound really mean, but when the physical signs are there, and from an outsider's perspective, you're like, well, did you ask him if he could read? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
clearly, these things that you are just now talking about are things that were very obvious from the start. So, I don't know. Yeah,
I
I
think
agree
that's
with
the
that
one
one.
that you give like it's gospel.
True.
What were you gonna say though? You were gonna say something.
Choose you. That's something that I feel like I always tell people. Like in everything that you're doing, just make sure that you are choosing you over what everybody else has to say. Because
I
you're the
like that.
most valuable and this is your life. And if this other person who was telling you didn't exist, what would you do? Right? So choose you.
That's a good one. What's something you've always wanted to thank me for but never said out loud? That's a weird question.
It's not actually. I feel like I have so much to thank you for, and I think it's picking up after me after I left Idaho
Oh,
because you took care of so much. Like there were so many things, there were so many loose ends, so much that like my life was a mess. Like that's the reality of it. Ever since like, you know, from the moment that I moved in with you to I guess the day I left on my mission, like all of that was just a part of my life that I would not have been able to survive without you. And like it really is like you were just such an essential part of my life. And like, you know, and not only you, but you and your parents, and maybe even your siblings as well. I feel like I wouldn't be here where I am today if it wasn't for the influence and the love that I received from you guys. So just it like literally everything that happened when I left Idaho, because when I left Idaho, it was like, oh, I'm gonna come back, and then I just didn't come
and
back,
then you
and there
didn't.
was so
Yeah.
much to take care of, and it was like emotionally, spiritually, economically, like there was so many things that needed to be taken care of that you did, and you didn't complain about it to me. And like I'm not saying it was easy, but you didn't complain about it to me. So like thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome.
It's a part of my life I try to forget. But
Honestly, I just remember stuffing everything in my garage. So, yeah, I you might have thought it was a big deal, but I don't remember it being a big deal. So, but I'm glad that that served you and that you are where you are now. But like I think about that and I'm like, that wasn't that big of a deal. I don't think, but
It
to
was
you it
monumental.
was.
It was
Yeah,
monumental.
but to
Yes.
you it was.
Yes.
Okay. Well, you're welcome.
Okay. Here's my last question for you. What's a moment that you saw me choosing growth even when it was hard?
Oh, well, one, your mission,
Mm-hmm.
but you have so much of that though. Like I can't choose one. Like I think your life is like I think circumstances that you cannot control have been hard and you choose growth every time. Like
Mm-hmm.
like when you moved in with my family. That was extremely
Mm-hmm.
hard, but you chose growth. Like when we decided to move to Idaho, that was hard, but you chose growth. Um, when you went on your mission, you chose growth. When you came back, you chose growth. Like when you were fighting life, technically, to put you back into the circumstances that you were before we moved to Idaho, but you said no, right? Like you chose to stay away. That was growth. Like I just feel like your life has been that, like choices of like growth or
Mm-hmm.
stay where you're at, and you've always chosen growth. Like that is something that I've always admired about you. Like you've always chosen the hard growth.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah. Yeah. No, I can't choose one, dude. Like you always do it. Like that is your life. And I think that's everyone's life. But from my point of view, you have always chosen the latter.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
as we see now, like now we can all agree that every choice that we make has a hard. You just have to choose which hard. And I'm glad that you always chose the
Mm-hmm.
growth. Because here you are now. And it's amazing.
Here we are now with our podcast.
Yeah, here we are now with a podcast. Okay. Here's my last question. What is something you hope never changes about me?
This is gonna sound kind of dumb, but like this is really gonna sound dumb. But I really hope that you never stop smiling
Mm,
because like I said before, I think that you're a light to a lot of people. And I know we I know we have said this before where like you like we've talked about you being everybody's best friend. You're that
yeah.
person, right? You're just that person that is so like open to other people. You're that person that people can count on and they're going to get the realest version of you. And I think that's so important. But I do want to just put it out there that she's mine. Because
I do want to call dibs real quick.
I do just want to say this, like I do feel a little bit of like ownership. And I think it's just important to put that out there. But yeah, I do really hope that you will just never stop smiling because you are a light to a lot of people. And everybody can see that because you're so welcoming. And I think your smile is just so real. It's just so genuine. And it is an accurate description of who you are. Um, like I mentioned already, like I couldn't be where I am without you. Um, and I know that there's a lot of other people that feel the same way.
Hmm.
Um, so it would really suck to see somebody take that away from you or a circumstance. Because I remember even like when you and I both went through a breakup at around the same time, like I was devastated and you were also hurting, but you didn't stop smiling. And you were able to overcome certain situations a lot easier or faster than I was because of everything we've talked about, your confidence, like the way that you look at life and your smile. And so I just think that, yeah,
And
as
I have
corny as
another
that
guy.
sounds, that's
Just
nice.
kidding.
Just kidding.
That's so funny. Well, thank you. That was very, very,
Dude, were
very
we just
sweet.
not having a conversation about that though?
About
Were
what?
we not just having a conversation about people like that move on and you're like, dude, you were just in a relationship
Oh,
2 seconds ago and now you're like in
yeah.
another relationship
That's true.
and like you're over here. Oh my God. You cracked me
Yeah,
up.
I was in a relationship for a while, and then this other guy came along, and I was like, I did suffer in silence. Yeah, it was.
But
I
with
never
a smile
ended up
on your
dating
face.
this other boy. I never ended up dating this other boy. So he was like more of a distraction from my hurt than he was actually like a moving on piece, you know. But that's
Yeah.
funny.
Well, that was fun. It was was it fun? I don't know. It was kind of
It
a
was fun.
little. It was fun.
No, I really like it. I think that was very informative for the both of us, and also to get our listeners to get to know us a little more, right? Because it's hard to it's really hard to know who somebody is behind a screen, you know, because well, they're being recorded, so obviously they're going to be a little more, you know, well behaved or whatever. But getting us to answer each other's questions is a little more real and more raw. So I love that our listeners can listen to this from our point of view, that we've known each other for 25 plus years. So
And before we finish, we do want to go back to our girl dinner episode and answer the questions that we asked you guys. So,
yeah.
You ready?
Yes.
The first question was, who was a person who would sneak out of their windows? And the answer is, yeah. Ding, 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 ding.
And then the other question was, who basically got proposed to without or while being asked to be their girlfriend? And the answer is, just kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bye.
Adios. Hopefully that you guys can learn a little bit about us. And if you guys have any of our questions that you would like to answer in the comments, go ahead and drop them down, because we want to get to know you as much as you want to get to know us.
So thank you so much for joining us, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.
Adios.